Hi guys, it's Ria and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to discuss the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard whole crazy karmic relationship. And we can really see that they have some karma between them through their birth chart, through astrology. So we're going to start with Johnny Depp's birth chart. So first of all, if you notice, his Venus is his Gatni Karaka, which means it is the planet with the 6th highest degree in the chart. And according to Gemini astrology, this planet, Venus, represents the obstacles and conflicts that Johnny Depp will experience. And Venus represents women. So this is one indication that women who are romantically involved with Johnny Depp will bring him headaches and conflicts, and the 6th planet with the 6th highest degree also has the 6th house energy. 6th house is also courts, litigations. So we definitely see that happening in Johnny Depp's life. Also, one interesting parallel, Venus is in Kritika Nakshatra. Venus is in Taurus in its own sign, but in Kritika Nakshatra. Kritika means the one who cuts. The symbol of Kritika is a knife, and the ruling deity is Agni, the god of fire. So it's a very fiery nakshatra and can oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, it can indicate aggression, even literally decapitation. And according to Johnny Depp, Amber Heard allegedly severed his finger. So we can really see the quality of this nakshatra coming into Johnny Depp's relationship with Venus, which means with the women that he is with. And if I look at Johnny Depp's chart, I'm sure if he would go to any astrologer, they would advise him to really think 10 times before getting into a relationship, because his 7th lord is Saturn, but it's also the 8th lord. So the 8th house energy is coming into his 7th house. 7th house represents long-term relationship and marriage. And the 8th house represents instability, represents secrecy. It's a Dastana house. It's a very difficult energy to deal with. And when the same planet rules both the 8th house and the 7th house, and is sitting in the 7th house, so the 8th lord in the 7th brings the 8th house energy into his relationships. 8th house also represents secret affairs and disgrace and humiliation. And we know how much Johnny Depp has been humiliated. You know, his public image really suffered a lot because of this relationship. So that's definitely 8th house energy, you know, unpredictability, sudden events. Like everything is going good and then out of nowhere, violence starts to erupt. So not only that, but Saturn is in Dhanishta Nakshatra. Dhanishta is a nakshatra of celibacy. You know, the mythology around Dhanishta is about celibacy. And Dhanishta could indicate celibacy, especially when it's linked with the 7th lord or the 7th house. And now Dhanishta is linked with both the 7th lord, which is Saturn, and the 7th house. So it is two strong indications that he's better off staying single. I'm probably sure he would have a better peace of mind if he was single, because we can see karma around relationships in his chart, and he's got 2 planets in the 6th house. He's got an eclipsed moon in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of divorce because it is the 12th from the 7th. So the 12th is loss. So when a house is 12th from the other house, it means the loss of that house. So having moon is one of the most important planets because it is our mind. It is how we emotionally relate to our experiences. and he's got an eclipsed moon. K2 with any planet is difficult, but especially with moon, because moon is the most fragile planet, and K2 kind of just eradicates everything from that planet. It just sucks everything out. So I'm sure Johnny Depp has had to deal with a lot of emotional issues throughout his life. And it's also happening in the 6th house of courts, conflicts, litigations. Now I'm gonna pull up Amber Heard's chart, and just a note here, there is no reliable birth time, so I'm only going to use the planet signs and the notable conjunctions. I'm not gonna discuss her houses and her ascendants and house lords, because we do not have an accurate birth time, and the ascendant changes about every hour. So she's got Rahu and Sun conjunct in Aries. That's also an eclipse. So Johnny Depp has got Moon K2, an eclipsed moon, and Amber Heard has got an eclipsed Sun. Now tell me this isn't karmic. And her Rahu Sun in Aries goes into Johnny Depp's 10th house. 10th house of career and recognition and public image. And she definitely affected his career and his public image when she released the article relating to the domestic abuse she allegedly suffered in his hands. Johnny Depp was asked to step down from his role in the Fantastic Beasts that they were filming. And so his public image really got affected at that time. And her Rahu with Sun means she's got an eclipsed Sun, and it's aspecting Johnny Depp's Moon and K2. So Johnny Depp has got an eclipsed moon and she's got an eclipsed sun. No wonder why they were so drawn to each other, and this relationship was so passionate and very, very karmic. Rahu's Sun aspecting his Moon K2. This is just, that tells you the whole story right there. And just one note about Rahu Sun in Aries. Now, Sun is exalted in Aries, okay? It usually means someone who has a strong sense of self and who has a healthy confidence, a healthy ego. But with Rahu there, a malefic, you know, Rahu blows everything out of proportion. And it can indicate overly exaggerated ego and people thinking they are the center of the world, and it can in some cases indicate narcissism. Also anger and temperament issues, since Rahu can tend to bring out the more negative qualities of Aries. So every sign has a spectrum. All of the 12 zodiac signs has a positive spectrum and the negative spectrum. And everyone can fall anywhere on that spectrum depending on their soul's evolution. But Rahu there in Aries, I mean, it can indicate extreme anger outbursts. And it kind of validates Johnny Depp's stories of how she would just have a need for violence and she would just erupt and cause these scenes. So, everybody can lie, but the beauty about astrology is that astrology does not lie. So who's telling the truth? They're both accusing each other. Well, from what I can see, Amber Heard might have more tendencies towards anger outbursts. That Sun, Rahu, and Aries tells the whole story. But if she had other planets in good dignity, I could say, you know, it's still questionable. But her Moon, Saturn, and Jupiter are in bad dignity in enemy signs, and her Mercury is debilitated in Pisces. So it's hard for me to say that this individual is using the more positive spectrum of that Aries energy. From what I can see, there is a lot of anger issues from this chart. Now, let's take a look at Johnny Depp's chart on the other hand. You know, I honestly do not see any indications of a liar. He's got Mars in good dignity. When Mars is in good dignity, Mars is how we fight. Mars is the soldier. When Mars is in good dignity, it makes one fight for the truth, which is what Johnny Depp claims to be doing. It makes one fight in a dignified way and not by using violence. And he's got Jupiter in its own sign in the 9th house. So Jupiter represents our higher morals. Now his eclipsed moon is definitely a difficult aspect in his chart, but it is in the Ashara nakshatras. His moon is in Purva Ashara and Ketu is in Uttara Ashara. The Asharas are all about the truth. They cannot tell a lie even if it could save their lives. So, you know, this really confirms it to me. 2 planets in the Asharas and Jupiter in its own sign in the 9th house and Mars in good dignity. From their charts, I do not see that Johnny Depp is the one who is lying. I will make another video explaining through the transits, the series of events that happened and what planets triggered it. So that was it. I hope that this was helpful, entertaining, or that you learned something new. Let me know in the comments down below if you're new to Vedic astrology. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new to this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.